spent? Gruer du deg? Gleder du deg?
Litt.
Begge deler?
Ja.
Ok.
Taking some nice pictures?
Yeah, just done scuba diving.
Oh, beautiful.
Hva er det for noe?
Ost!
when this was used as Jerusalem in World War Z, when this was used in Assassin's Creed. We're going to make a short stop here, a very short trekking to the nearer side of Valletta, which was used in Game of Thrones and various other productions. We get off every weekend.
To end up on Arya's hit list was Sir Aaron Payne, the executioner. Yet you may recall he's the only one that doesn't get killed. The reason for that is that the actor who impersonates this role, Wilco Johnson, isn't actually an actor, he's a blues artist who was diagnosed with aggressive cancer and given only 4 months to live. So out of respect, HBO wrote out his scenes. Luckily for him, he survived. These are some of my behind the scenes, okay, from the beheading, so you will see that no one really lost his head. We used prosthetics and a lot of what we call stage blood. We held a friendly soccer match between cast and crew, and guess what we used as football? Really enjoyed digging our toes in his ice pockets, I can tell you. Okay, this is Valletta behind here, but what you see on your screens is this. Okay, so there were no green screens, of course, this is Sean Bean, but this is Lisa, my wife. Now I'm the one taking this photo. I'd like to use this to share with you an interesting and an amusing moment we had here. So I had worked previously with Sean Bean, and my wife was cast as a stunt. She was the woman who interacts with Ned Stark right before his beheading. She's the one who lunges forward to him, claws at his eyes, spits on him, calls him names, calls him fake. She makes his life miserable basically, and she's been practicing on me ever since. Anyway, so he knew both of us, but he must have been the only person on set not to know that we were married. Now, in his defense, when he came to Malta, he was on his third divorce, so he was kind of on rebound. And right after I'm taking this photo, he turns around to Lisa, my wife, and goes, "So what you doing tonight?" It's such a sweet moment which I love to share, you know. That's the reason why over the years I let my hair grow long, I sport facial hair, I switch off the lights at night, and sometimes I whisper in her ear, "Winter is coming." After 20 years of marriage, getting lucky is a good thing, even if you are a star. So the scene here, which actually took less than 2 minutes of your airtime, took a whole 14 hours to film. So the scene starts off with Arya trying to catch a pigeon. Okay, there are a number of pigeons, then she catches one, her killing a pigeon. We replace that pigeon with a stuffed pigeon, and then what happens is that she tries to trade it for some bread. The baker, who's a Maltese actor, is actually coming out from door number 9 behind you. What to you is a simple scene, took a long time to film. And I'm telling you this because I am one of many, and I'm sure many of you are as well, who were critics of the way HBO ended season 8.
Arya is chasing cats and ends up hiding behind dragon skulls, and overhears Lord Varys and Illyrio plot against her father in favor of Daenerys, was filmed there. And then when later Lord Varys visits Ned Stark in his cell before his beheading.
Completely different location, and that is where Joffrey, as the New King, walks Sansa to show her her father's head on a spike, together with that of Septa Mordain. Jaime gets off his horse and challenges Ned Stark to a fight. He reveals the street sign over there, which was just painted in mud, as you can see. So it makes a Stark appearance. Now, in the alliteration that follows, the first character to die is Jory Castell, the right-hand guy of Ned Stark. And these are my photos from the day to confirm that no one really died. We used prosthetics. Okay, so this is dried silicone, the same trick they used to camouflage the face of the Hound, for instance. The burns that he had on his face is the same type of makeup used. Jaime is standing on this grate, facing out. So this is where he is for the scene. For number 22, which is the door behind you, is what is covered with a stall. Now this lower scene, this lower slide, is an actual screenshot of the fight between Ned Stark and Jaime. Sean Bean is an experienced swordsman. You've seen him in Troy, that was filmed here, as Boromir in Lord of the Rings, Sharp, Patrick Games, and many others. Nikolai Coster-Waldau, the Danish actor who plays Jaime, was a newbie, didn't even know how to wield a sword, doesn't know how to fight. Which is okay usually, but not when you are the Kingslayer.
Three dragons were born. So this is the birthplace of the three dragons as well. Now over here, this was the last week of filming, which was the first week of November. The weather wasn't too kind to us. It was very cold, very windy, and now we're not Starks, we're not Lannisters, we're not Goat Cloaks, we are Dothrakis. And we froze. We're semi-naked, we were really cold, especially at night. I swear, before those days, I never knew my nipples could go so hard. And they used to stoop to blow warm air on top of us, and the cherry on the cake, which really helped boil our blood, was getting to see Daenerys naked. That was the only perk on an otherwise miserable week we spent here. We used the cliff that we're facing down below, we used the plateau down there on the left, and we used the other cliff far left.
Everyone says, we're going to Malta on holiday. But what few people seem to realize, our nation is not Malta. Our nation is the Maltese Islands, and we are an archipelago of 6 islands. you have Malta, Gozo and Comino. So how do they manage to pull it off? Thanks to very clever camera techniques. So behind you where that little mound is, they put a camera on a tripod facing me. Along this path, riding towards you, 15 Dothrakis on horseback, led by the three principal actors in this scene, Khal Drogo, Daenerys and Otto the Blood Rider. 25 Dothrakis on horseback, I was one of them, and about 6 Dothrakis on foot. They use the sea as a natural blue screen, meaning wherever the sea appears, it becomes sand and mountains automatically in post-production. The part where they're all parked in the desert, that desert is none other than the Mediterranean Sea. Okay, that's the beauty of technology today. Process out of shot, he will revert back out of shot and back inside. Exactly. So you think there's a never-ending line of Dothrakis, but there's no connection between these guys, and that's the same guy that left this shot 20 seconds earlier. The silhouette shot, it's taken against the light, so you can't make out faces. So we could keep going round in circles as long as they wanted us to. That once Khal Drogo dies, she will no longer be leading the Kalastar. And that's where she decides what she executes 5 seasons later, the 3rd episode of season 6, and burns them all. Okay, and that's the only other time she walks into the fire. Following this scene, I'm gonna take you next. Now where we're going next, the plateau, is what becomes the Red Waste, where the 3 dragons were born. To put everyone's mind at rest that no real dragons were used or harmed in the filming of that scene. 5 years ago, I had an adult guest on one of my tours that got hooked on the show, believing that they used real dragon eggs and that they actually made dragons hatch. Obviously, that was not the case, you know, but it was so amusing at the time.
Palm trees dance.
This is a raised fire, so Khal Drogo's body is somewhere up here. Now both actors are standing well outside the 4 meters minimum safety distance that we keep from real flames. That these actors are somewhere over here getting burned. We Dothrakis were just 10 meters behind them, freezing our asses off. And we make our way to see Daenerys waking up in all her glory. And the exact spot where Daenerys is, I'll show you the spot because I know some guys may wish to kiss the ground. It's the angle of the camera, this is where she's standing. And this is where these very famous 2 posters are shot. This is Amelia Clark, no doubles were used. And as I said, no dragons were used either. Their underwings retain the same color. So Drogon, the big dragon, the one Daenerys rides, has red underwings. So using this tape, they marked her body with a series of red, green and yellow crosses, and in post-production each set of crosses becomes a video of that particular dragon, of the CGI artist who actually designed and created the dragons. She came as a paying guest, and only after this bit, as we were walking back to the coach, she approached me, introduced herself, and on her mobile she showed me bit by bit how they created the dragons. And I learned that these dragons were created at the Bavarian studios in Munich. That's why they're so perfect, they're German. Yeah? Because after I had shaved my hair and my beard, so that's a wig and that's a fake beard, and I told you about all the makeup we used to have. You see the whiteness on our skin, that is our skin. All the rest is concealing makeup. So our tattoos, everything was concealed. We spent 2 hours in makeup every day in the morning, an hour at the end to be cleansed. Effectively, Dothraki days were about 18 hours long.
Widest part of Malta, where Malta is 14 kilometers across. But Malta as an island is shaped like a fish. So to the south you have the mouth, that's where the fishing village of Marsashlock is.